What's up, guys? It's Mr.NeverSleep, which is pretty accurate right now, because I barely got any sleep last night. So I just want to update you guys on what's going on, because it's a lot. Um, I went to MEPS yesterday. As I've made abundantly clear, I am joining the Army, and, well, I guess I'm not joining the Army anymore. I joined the Army. I'm officially in the Army. So yesterday, I spent the night at a hotel getting ready to go to MEPS, and it was all right. It was pretty cool. It was a nice hotel. Um, I went at 10 o'clock the previous day to go down to the recruiter station, got on the bus, shuttled down to MEPS, where I waited around for like a good while, like a couple hours, to get shuttled to the hotel. We didn't do anything that day. No, that's a lie. I took my D lab because I was going psyops, psychological operations. I can say that now. As a classified job. We get top secret clearance, all that. But yeah, I thought that was the job I was going. I was so excited. I got a pretty good score on my D lab. I was ready to go. I only needed a 95 to pass. I got 118. That's not really good to be like 120 something. But 118 was plenty for what I wanted to do. But, I got back to the hotel. I got out of that. I got out of the D lab test. We got shuttled to the hotel. We got put in our rooms. I got a roommate. He was a guy that was going into the Marines. He was pretty chill. We went and worked out in the gym together. We got free lunch. They gave us free lunch. Had to be up at 4 in the morning. It was impossible to sleep in that hotel. There were sirens going off right outside the window. My roommate snored like a motherfucker, which, not holding that against him, but, the nerves combined with that made it really hard to get to sleep. So I fell asleep like an hour before I had to go. So I got like an hour of sleep, immediately had to get up, tried to psych myself up, thinking I'm going to get the job I want. I'm going to be psychological operations. It's going to be kick ass. So I get back, or we get out, we leave when it's 4:50, woke up at 4, had breakfast, light workout, get to MEPS. So we get shuttled to MEPS, we arrive. It is a lot of waiting. We go through different stations. They have to do the briefing, and then you go through the stations, and the whole time I'm like, am I going to meet body weight? Am I going to get through this physical thing? Is anything going to come up from my past, like, that'll prevent me on my medical records from getting in? I get through all of the different stations, and I'm good to go. They clear me. I am set. So I go down to the Army office after getting all my paperwork sorted out, and sit down with the guy, and he asks me, what is the job you want to do? And I'm like, psychological operations, baby. That is the thing that stood out to me the most after I got my list of available jobs, and I took the ASVAB. I did my D lab. I passed all of my physical stuff. And last second, man, we waited for like an hour waiting to call someone to see if I needed a medical waiver or something, because we're jumping out of planes and stuff. I have glasses. I have to go to fat camp because, I barely pass. I'm not super in shape, I just barely pass getting to go to fat camp. And so he calls them, and they're like, no, they don't have the training for that with what I'm doing or whatever. So that goes out the window, and I'm like, fuck. I did my D lab. I made it through all of my physical stuff. I got greenlit to go. I thought everything was set. I thought I was going to get the job I want. And nope, I didn't get it. She was like, what other job do you want? You have a really high score on your ASVAB. You can do a lot of jobs. Like, just say the word and you can get almost anything else you want. So, I sat there, and it's like, I don't know the jobs off the top of my head. What are the jobs? And he just keeps pushing me like, no, you have to tell me the job. I'm not going to go through all like list of 200 jobs for you. So it was like Man, I don't know them off the top of my head. What do you want me to say? You just want me to pull a job out of my ass. So I went with my second choice, which is diver. Diver is cool. It's not terrible. I think it'll be fun, but it fucking sucked to not get the job I wanted and then not get to go through a list of jobs, like not get to see that list again. So I could choose something like maybe that I would want to do more, maybe something at least comparable to PsyOps. So I didn't have to get a security clearance for nothing, and I didn't do my fucking B-Lab for nothing, but I didn't get that option, so I had to pull something out of my ass, so I went with diver. So chose diver, locked it in, got my fingerprints put back in, swore in, and got my paperwork all sorted out, and officially got my date to go to basic training and my date for schooling and everything. So, drive back home, get all my stuff for the army. Got, a hoodie, a shirt, a bracelet, a water bottle, things like that. And now I'm just like kind of sinking in, like, man, the more I think it's just really disappointing, to be like super hyped. Like I think like I've made it through all of these different stages, all of these different like trials and walls I had to get over to get the job that I wanted and I thought I was going to be able to do. And then last second, had that pulled out from underneath you. That really sucks. So it's hard to be as excited as I want to be for the job I got. I know diver's going to be cool, and I know I'm going to get in, and I'm going to get through basic, and it's going to suck, and then I'm going to start my job, and the job, I'm going to love it, and it's going to be cool. But, I can't help but think about how much more exciting and how much more I would love to do the job that I wanted to do. Because it aligns with all of my strong suits. I am a very, language-oriented guy. That is what I'm best at. And now I'm doing something else. I have to learn, a new skill and stuff, which, that'll be maybe even more fun, but it would have been really fun and cool to be able to do something that I'm good at and I was excited to do. But, I can't do that now. But, I have to adapt. I have to, get out of that mindset, because I'm in the United States Army. I'm officially a soldier in the United States Army on paper. I leave for basic here in a few months. I'm gonna get through my training, start doing my job, serve my country, and it'll be fun. It's just really hard not to be disappointed. But yeah, I just figured I'd update you guys on what's going on. Hope you all have a wonderful day. That's about it. I'll see you.
In my dreams, the memories are blinding. In my mind, the vows we made were binding. And every night I can't help but reminding myself of how it was before. We lost the love we held so tight. We killed ourselves with every fight. We lost our minds among the lies, and over time we stripped away